Hello folks, it's Steve Cook again. Okay, this is the second video which will be showing you how to use the various MIDI editing and MIDI sound generation programs along with an external keyboard in Ubuntu Mate. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'll minimize this down, put that there. Right, next thing, we go to audio production. Qjackctl, start, connect. Right. What it does is it opens a load of connections here that it thinks are intelligent, but they're not. And it'll keep doing it while I'm opening all the programs. I'll wait until I've got them all open, then I'll disconnect everything and then connect it manually in the way that I want it. So we'll ignore those connections to me. The next thing I need is, I'm going to minimize me down as well because I'm going to get in the way now. The next thing we need is Qsynth, which is a synthesizer. Audio production, sound generators, Qsynth. Okay, then I want my virtual keyboard, which is VMPK, and that's in there. And then I want Rose Garden, which is my MIDI editor, and which I can also pump the playback out from to my keyboard, to this virtual keyboard. So Rose Garden, there we go. When I've got Rose Garden on, I'm going to import a MIDI. I'll do Anisette, I like that one. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do now is go to my connections. They're all over the place. I'm going to disconnect them all. Disconnect everything. Right, so what do we want? We want VMPK, that's my keyboard there, to go to the synthesizer, which is that thing there, because the synthesizer is what actually generates the sound. So connect. What we also want is Rose Garden to go to VMPK, because whatever goes to my virtual keyboard is going to come from this MIDI file in here. So I'm going to connect that. And finally, I need to send my Qsynth out to my system speakers. Okay. Now, doing that is one thing, but what I also need to do is to go into the individual programs themselves and make sure they also actually comply with that. So I'm sending my output to VMPK from Rose Garden. From VMPK, I need to go to connections, make sure that, and it's Rose Garden too. Don't ask me why it is that, but it is. I need to send that to Fluid Synth, which is really Qsynth. So it's going in from Rose Garden out to Qsynth. There it is. We know it's going to Qsynth because it's generating a sound. Right, so now I've got that going. I do believe that's it. If I start it now, it should work. Yes. So there we go. Now it's sending the signal out, which is why it's lighting up the correct keys. But this is also sending it to that, which is sending it out to the speakers. I'll just stop that a second as well, because what I can also do is I can use my external keyboard to also play. And why is that a good idea? Because it means while it's playing, I can press my external keys to match the ones that are being played. And I'll know if I've missed them because it'll sound out of tune. But if I hit them at the same time, in the same place, it'll all sound together. In other words, it's a way of learning a tune by copying and doing rather than having to read music. And that's really the main advantage of it. And luckily I've got a keyboard that will receive the signals from Qsynth, which will actually light up my actual keyboard, my real keyboard in the real world. It lights it up with a little light underneath the key, which makes it even easier. But yeah, that's what I use this mostly for, and it's great. Right, that's basically that. I'm going to close that down now. Close that down. Close Qjackctl down. Close Qsynth down. Bring my ugly mug back up. And that's me done. So I hope that's explained roughly how that works. Thank you very much.